opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? But can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
And hello, everybody. Welcome inside a Tuesday episode Running Point on ysnlive.com. As always, we are brought to you by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. They go the extra mile for you. We try to do the same here on this show every single day, and we're jam-packed full of basketball previews today. We're going to roll right into it. We're going to start with Randy Venzel, the head coach of the Edgewood girls basketball team. So we're making a trip to the 440 to hear a preview of Edgewood. They had such a good season last year, and Randy Venzel hoping for another good one this year. Me, Ty Bartell, on this interview. Hope you enjoy.
Well, and with another edition of Coach's Corner as we go up to Ashtabula County for this one on the girls' side of the hoops, it's Mr. Randy Venzel from the Edgewood Warriors girls basketball program. Coach, how we doing today?
Doing pretty good. Just finished practice and heading to awards tonight, so running ragged, but all good.
We talk practices, Coach, and that's a perfect starting point because I always am curious, too, at this point. We're in the thick of practices. Sometimes things start popping out as well as you see some talent spikes, right? How are practices looking for your girls, and what are you seeing?
Looking good. Actually, today was play day, so we're installing some of our plays, which most of our girls already know, but some freshmen, sophomore who might not have some varsity time, so we're trying to get them caught up. The practices are going good. Energy is good. Dealing with a couple injuries here and there, but that happens early in the season. Girls got to get used to conditioning and just the do, but it's all good.
Coach, I want to know, you've had a couple of weeks now to be with your team, and then obviously this summer as well. Who are some leaders that are really stepping up and catching your eye, and people that you know that you're going to be able to trust to step out out there on the floor, because you did lose a good senior class last year?
Yeah, we did lose a bunch of seniors. But this year I'd say Katie McAllister, who's a senior, she's going to be one of our leaders, has led all summer, led by example, been at everything, and just shows the girls, she's not a real vocal girl, but she just shows them what needs to be done. And then McKenna Venzel, who's also a senior, I'd say she's also took the role. They've stepped right in for the girls that we lost and just showing the girls the ropes and what we expect. They already know our expectations as a coaching staff and what we do. So those two for sure. And then I'd say Avery Venzel and Annie Mae Johnston, they have definitely the same thing. Like they know the routine. They know what we expect. They actually coach themselves a lot, which is great. And I can just fine tune some stuff as a coach. That's what you love to see, where you don't have to coach every single thing. So they're my coaches on the court. So those four especially have stepped up this year.
For sure, it's not the same team as last year, but the returning girls that you do have still experienced the success you guys did have from last season. I got to feel like that still has a carryover effect for you as a coach and for the coaching staff. Does that make things a little bit easier that maybe you don't have to remind them an extra time or two about running maybe a certain set or running a certain play? Is it make things a little bit easier this time around?
I would say definitely. Just them knowing, our expectations and what we do is huge. Takes some weight off of my shoulders. I know it takes weight off my assistant Jordan's shoulders, and it does make it easier. It does make your job easier. Is it always easy? I'm not going to say that by any means, because you still gotta stay on them and just make sure. Then it's just about execution, So doing the small things right, and then just nitpicking. Really, as a coaches, that's what we do, right? Even if you did it good, we want it great, and then when you do it great, we want it perfect. So then when it's perfect, we can maybe move on to something else. But
Coach, you make it look so easy, man. Let's talk about your schedule. We'll start with the league. Obviously, another season where you guys expect to be battling for the top of the conference, just like you did last year. What do you expect out of the conference and league play this year?
Got some new teams this year, so definitely it's going to be more competitive with Madison coming in, Jefferson coming in, Conneaut coming in, and still having Perry and Harvey and Geneva and Lakeside. It's going to be a tough sledding, but hopefully we're up to the challenge. Hopefully we can compete in the conference. That's one of our goals, obviously, is to compete and win every game and win the conference. But I think we should be able to compete in most games, and that's the game plan. But yeah, the conference definitely got better this year. I can say that.
Talking about that conference too, it has a lot more Ashtabula County teams centered around it too. That's got to be exciting for both you and especially the kids too. Have a lot more of those local rivalries going on, a lot more games local in the county.
Yeah, it's kind of got that old NEC feel. When I was in school, it was the Northeastern Conference, so it was really our corner of Ashtabula County and a smidge into Lake County. But it's good to have that back. Like you said, you get local rivalries. You get people to games that normally wouldn't go to a game, but two local schools in town, and then people show up just because they want to catch a game. Where, honestly, if we're going to play Hubbard or Struthers, we're driving an hour down Route 11, and you just don't have that same atmosphere. Not saying it's not fun or anything like that. I think it helps with the local rivalries, and the kids know each other. And with social media these days, all the kids know each other from every school. But I just say it brings that local, that rivalry, and it's good. It's been good for attendance. It's been good for girls basketball. So I love seeing it.
As if you needed to put more on the line when Edgewood faces off with Jefferson, right? That's just rivalry night. Has put rivalry and league play in there as well. Coach, out of conference, who are some teams that pop up on your schedule that you're really excited to test yourself against?
Let's see. South Range. We've had them the last couple years. They always give us a good game, give us some fits. So it's good to see them on the schedule. West G's in our conference, but they're in the other division. And it's always a great game with them. Last year was right down to the end, and we ended up pulling it out. So I know they'll be gearing for us this year. So I'd say those two for sure are a couple games I would say we have circled.
For all the Edgewood fans, Coach, shout out your first game and shout out the type of brand they could expect this Warriors team to be playing.
Our first game's Grand Valley, Black Friday. So hopefully we're not hungover from Black Friday deals. Luckily last year I think stores were closed, so none of the girls could go out. I don't know if that's the case this year. I haven't looked into it, but so Black Friday we go to Grand Valley. Non-conference game. Didn't play them last year, but they should expect to see, girls giving it their all. That's kind of what we hang our hat on. Our defense hopefully is up to par. That's that's where we want to be, playing good defense, and good defense leads to good offense. That's kind of our motto. And just girls that are good sportsmen, hopefully that's what you see on the court, and a lot of respect for the game. So,
well, if you want some bang for your buck on a Black Friday, you might as well go see some girls basketball in Grand Valley, right? I mean, no better way to do it.
There you go. Scroll
Coach,
on your phone and get some Black Friday deals while you watch.
Yeah, maybe the concession stand at Grand Valley will have some Black Friday deals. Who knows? Let's talk about your assistant staff and the people that you have working behind you here at Edgewood. We want to give them the limelight too, even though you get the interviews, head coaches get the blame or the credit for everything, but we know that you have people behind you that are putting in so much work to make the program what it is.
Yeah. My right-hand girl is Jordan Venzel. She's my JV coach. But she brings energy to every practice, and the girls look up to her. I love having that female presence, that the girl that have done it, she's done it. So she's done the drills. She's done everything she's asking them to do. So she can show them, plus they look up to her. So I don't know what I'd do without her. Unfortunately, we lost a good one in Jason Aponte. He did a great job for me at the junior high level, and we reap benefits from all the hard work he put in down there. But he actually moved to Conneaut as the head coach there. So that's been a hit. But we got two fresh new junior high coaches in Lucia Mazzacco and Sydney Meloragno. But they're doing a great job with the younger girls and just teaching the fundamentals, that way when they get to me, they're ready to roll. And then, the all Venzel staff, my dad, Bubba, and then my brother, Roman, they swing by practices whenever they can and lend their 2 cents. Sometimes we listen. Most of the time we don't, but at least they're there to try to help out.
Venzel's across the board, man, everywhere.
That's it.
I hear that name Venzel, man, and I mean it just seems like the sport is more than just your life; it's your entire family's life too. And I think it leads right into my next question too. It's my final question for you, Coach. It's that love of the game that connects us all, right? It's whether we're on the sidelines, whether we're on the floor in the press box, doesn't matter. We all love the game. It's what keeps us coming back. I feel like you have some pretty deep roots in the sport of basketball. Where did this love for the sport of basketball start? Do you have a pinpoint moment or a time frame?
I think it just started, with my dad. I remember way back when, I think in elementary, he had a plaque at the house. It was from McKenzie Elementary, and he had won the basketball MVP, and it sat on our shelf when we were growing up, and he would always talk about that. So I guess I would honestly say it started there. So then it was there, and then playing basketball in the driveway with him, and then, moving on to playing myself, and then playing in men's leagues, and then starting to coach, and then having daughters that play, and now a son that plays. Just love the game, love to watch it, love to get better at it, love to learn it. Refed it. So I've coached it. I refed it. I've been a fan of it. I'm a parent. So I pretty much know everything there is to know about basketball. So
been there, done that, Coach.
Yeah,
We want to thank you for your time tonight and talking to us about your program and giving us such a solid preview of what to expect from Edgewood this year. We wish you the best of luck. I'm going to actually be there in Grand Valley for game 1, so we'll see you then. And we can't wait to support you all season long.
Attaboy, A-Train. I hit you up at A&W and get you a root beer.
Yes.
we love supporting you, Coach. We're rooting for the Warriors this season, and we can't wait till the season starts.
I appreciate you guys. Appreciate all the coverage you do for the kids, and all the promoting. It's awesome. Appreciate it.
We appreciate the love and the support you give us as well, Coach. This has been a first edition of Coach's Corner with the Edgewood girls basketball skipper, Mr. Randy Venzel. Bartel with Anthony Hartwig as we have another edition of Coach's Corner. This time we go into the EBC's conference with the boys' side of the hoops with head coach Scott Loudon of the West Branch Warriors. Coach, how we doing today?
Doing pretty good. Thanks for having me on board.
Thank you for joining us, Coach. As I like to always start off in the practice question, just because we're in that kind of time of the season right now. Practices are getting underway. I know you guys with a successful football team, there's some waiting you got to do, but for what you expect this team to be, obviously waiting on some football guys, what can you expect from West Branch basketball this year?
It will be pretty athletic. Looking forward to playing fast, hopefully. We'll share the ball pretty well. We've got a lot of unselfish players. Got some kids that can shoot the three ball pretty effectively. And then we've got some size to go along. So, everything goes well. We expect to be pretty fun to watch.
Coach, it's your first year, so the first year is always about, building your culture, your philosophies, instilling that into a team. What's that been like for you in the summers and now in the first, week or so of getting the kids that you do have into the gym?
Well, summer, was interesting because I was a late hire, so I was not around the kids a whole heck of a lot. Got around to know most of them. Some were gone for vacation or they had football events, baseball, whatever. And so it's been a challenge. Some of the non-football players, I've been around more here as we went through the early fall into the start of the season. And it's been challenging to develop a rapport because, of course, I don't get to see about half of our team very often. But that's part of the deal. This football team's generally pretty successful here at West Branch, and it's great for the kids. It's great for the community, and it's not a big deal to work around. Main thing is whenever we get them that we get on board fast and get moving and get ready to play games.
Yup, that success carries over, no doubt. You're gonna have to try to install like Loudnomics on them real quick, right in the practice schedule. Obviously, that's going to present some challenges for you. But what is the adjustment like for a coach that in this situation to get the most effectiveness out of your guys by the time you do get those football guys back? And obviously, for West Branch, you're hoping you don't get them back till really late.
Right. Yeah. Ideally, it's going to be a few more weeks before we get them back. They're fun to watch on a football field, just like they're fun to watch on the basketball court. The main thing for us is to get as much installed as we can with the guys that are there. And that way, when the other guys get here, whether that's next week, whether that's 3 weeks from now, their learning curve is going to be made a lot easier. And so that's the main goal. The guys that we have right now will be able to help them along and make things as easy as possible. As we plan on playing on the 1st of December. So we'll want to get them ready very quickly.
With the football team being so successful, you're probably going to have to do some scrimmages without those guys. What are you going to learn from that? What are you going to do to kind of try to get maybe some role players involved and get them at least used to having to play maybe a bigger role than they will all season just in the scrimmage?
Right. That's a part of it I think will be good for some of our players that we anticipate to be role players is they're going to have to step up and they're going to have to play at the top of their game in the scrimmages. And if, God forbid something happens and we lose players, either foul trouble, injury, illness, whatever, we have that in our back pocket that we have role players that we can insert in there, and we're going to keep playing the same way we want to play. Maybe a little different effectiveness, but still a high level of effectiveness.
I know you just got into the reins of this position, no doubt, but I'm sure you know that the EBC conference, always a fun conference, always a competitive basketball conference, both on the boys and the girls side. What do you see from the conference perspective this season? How do you feel the Warriors are going to fit into it?
Well, I'll be honest. I think we have the players that if we're not up near the top of the conference, we're going to be disappointed. I think we're as good as anybody, whether that shows on the floor. Obviously, that's why we play the games. But I know me personally, I'm going to be pretty disappointed if we're not playing to be in the top 1 or 2 at the end of the year. But it'll be a pretty competitive league. We've got some nice teams. We've got some nice players, and it'll be fun.
This is gonna kind of be our debut of watching your coach basketball team. So, what's your brand of basketball? What's kind of your basketball philosophy? What should we expect out of teams coached by you?
I'm not real set in one solid philosophy. I try and coach to what my players can do. If I feel we can get up and down, then absolutely that's what we're going to do. I'm going to give them freedom. I'm going to let them make their mistakes and learn from them. If we don't have the athletes and basketball players to do that, we're going to lock it down a little bit more, and we'll play slower. We'll limit the opportunities to make mistakes, but I think it's best, we don't recruit players. It's not like at the college level where you can pick a certain type of player. 1 year we may be scoring 75 points a game. Next year we may be scoring 40. I'd rather score 75 though.
Everyone would, I think.
Yeah.
Are you a firm believer of success breeds success? Do you feel the success of this football team has the potential to have that carryover effect to the basketball team?
I think it plays a big part, yeah. And we have a large portion of our team will be coming through that, and that definitely helps. They have high expectations for their performances, and they're going to carry those high expectations into basketball season. And I look forward to that. I know their teammates are going to look forward to it, and it will make us a better team.
Coach, we've talked about your league and the conference. Let's talk about some non-conference teams that pop up on your schedule that you're really excited about and is going to be a good test for your boys.
Camfield's one that you mark on the schedule a little bit. They're really close. Coach Collins, a fantastic coach. Actually played AAU for him way back in the day. I really enjoyed that season that I did that with him. And so that's one of them. And probably the primary one. That's a good test for us as we, play some teams up that way, because, our district will be up that way. So that's probably where I'd start and stop.
Becoming a head coach is a two-way street. A school's got to want you, but you got to want a school as well. What made West Branch such a good fit for you?
Well, I've lived here my whole life, so that makes it a lot easier. I played at West Branch, and again, long time ago. I coached basketball at West Branch up until 8 years ago at the freshman and JV level. I've coached baseball there since around 2000. All three of my kids went there and graduated there. So it's an easy choice for me.
It's got to be so exciting then for you to have this head coaching reign now. What's the feeling like for you as that opening tip-off rapidly approaches that you're going to be taking the sidelines as the head skipper of the Warriors now?
I'll be pretty excited at that point. I'm not generally an outwardly emotional guy, but I would guess when we're ready for that opening tip at home, I'll probably be sitting down to make sure just don't pass out or anything.
Yeah, please don't pass out.
Don't need that.
Don't need that. Coach, I want to give you the chance to also shine a light on your coaching staff, the people that would have to take over if that happened. Who you put together for this job, and who are the people that are helping you make this program what you want it to be?
So Daniel Lout is going to be my varsity assistant. He's a young guy that I coached back when he was a sophomore on the JV team. Enjoyed having him back then. And then I watched him play as he graduated from Salem, and loved the way he played, loved the way that he turned into the player that he was. And he's young, which is going to be a real advantage because I'm not young. And some of my other members of my staff, not real young. And that's okay. But I think he's going to relate to the kids real well. He has some experience through Mount Union working with Coach Fueline, which will be hugely beneficial. Just, some of the things they do, some of the approaches they take. And I can pull that from Daniel. He's been great with the kids so far. Look forward to him really working with them on a day-to-day basis once we get everybody all together. My JV coach will be Brad Smith. I've known and worked with Brad forever. We actually, when he was a senior in high school, I played JV when he was playing varsity. So I've known him since, I was 15 years old or whatever. We've coached together some over the years, either him and the varsity assistant, JV, me as a freshman coach. And so, heck, he was in my wedding. So somebody I definitely trust. And I know he's the type that when I'm wrong, he's not going to hesitate to tell me. And that'll be a big plus for me, in my opinion. I don't need somebody just telling me Oh no, you're right. You're right. It's good to have Brad there because he'll definitely tell me, Scott, you're walking the wrong direction, buddy. So
you always need a few guys like that too, huh?
Yeah. And then I'm fortunate enough, Mike Velasca, that used to be a head coach here at West Branch. He's come on as a volunteer basis and willing to help whatever he needs to do. And again, he's great with the kids and gives a lot of insight, both just from the head coaching perspective and a lot of things that we may do, both defensively and offensively.
Well, Coach, my final question for you before we let you go this evening is just the love of the game, right? It's the theme of this year for me and the basketball coaches. It's the reason why we keep coming back each and every season, no matter our role in the sport of basketball. It seems like you have some long roots in this sport. Where did the love of the sport of basketball start for you? Do you have a pinpoint moment or a time frame?
Oh boy, I wouldn't say a pinpoint moment, but I know when I was just young, 5, 6, 7, 8, my neighbors had a basketball hoop, and I was over there all the time, rain, shine, snow, and I've always enjoyed it. You can play basketball 1-on-0, 5-on-5, 2-on-2, whatever, and it's hard to get that in a lot of sports. And it's been a big part of my life ever since I was in that 5, 6, 7-year-old range. It's been a lot of fun over the years.
Coach, we want to thank you so much for the time that you take out of your day, out of your night to come on and give us a preview of Warriors basketball. I know we here at YSN, we're going to be rooting for you and the success of the Warriors all season long. And I'm sure we're going to cross paths again real soon.
Sure.
Both Anthony and I are going to be all over the place for it. So YSN will get you covered this season, no doubt.
Gotcha, and I appreciate that.
Absolutely, Coach, and we appreciate you. This has been a first edition of Coach's Corner with the West Branch Warriors boys basketball head coach, Mr. Scott Loudon.
Hi, this is Zell Bush.
Hi, this is Tom Flynn. Hi, this is Steve Versetto.
Hi, this is Ryan Miller.
Hi, this is Rich Sakui from WRS Wealth Advisors.
With our combined 80 years of experience,
WRS Wealth Advisors are the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists.
Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services.
Or visit WRSwealth.com.
Go Raiders.
Go Dogs.
Go Cats.
Go Dogs.
Go Tigers.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University and proud.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
Nestled here in the beauty and splendor of Mill Creek Metro Parks are two of America's best golf courses, as selected by Golf Week magazine. Ranked number 9 in Ohio by TripAdvisor. Come play like a pro on these award-winning Donald Ross-designed courses. Enjoy a round with your kids and unwind with your favorite food and drinks in the grill room. For championship golf, look no further than your backyard. Mill Creek Golf Course.
Ashlyn Cleveley joining us from Campbell, the head coach of the girls basketball program, first-year head coach. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Thank you for having me.
You got it. So our first question really is going to be, what's it like to have this title when this job came open? What were some things that made you want to, go after it and take it?
Well, I've been teaching at Kimmel. This is my 3rd year now. So I've been coaching volleyball at the middle school program for 2 years, and I see the success that program is having. And being a part of that, I wanted to change the basketball culture here, getting the girls to buy into the culture, being invested in it and working hard and showing up every day and being accountable. So I was excited when it opened up, starting from the ground essentially, but I'm excited for the future for sure.
We're seeing a lot of athletic programs at Campbell be rejuvenated. Volleyball the last couple of years, but this year especially having the best year they've ever had. Boys basketball is on a really big run right now. You see softball continuing to get better during the spring. What kind of things do you think you can do to try to get basketball in that same boat on the girls' side?
Well, like you said, I mean, those programs have started to turn the corner, and that's great to see. So it just goes to show that we do have the athletes here. We do have the athletes in the school to do that. I mean, we're so small. It's hard, over the summer, these girls, if they did club volleyball or club softball, all these girls do different sports. So it's hard to get them in the school, like in the practice when they're doing all this stuff. But it's good that we have all these athletes. In order to turn the basketball program around, right now, I think I have the right people in the gym. I think we're going on the right track currently. It's just, every day coming in the gym, working hard, doing what we're supposed to, holding these girls accountable in more ways than one, and telling them like it's a process. This buy-in isn't going to happen overnight. I need them to buy into the future in a year from now, in 2 years from now, 3 years from now. The success, they won't see that currently, that right now, but it's growing. It's growing.
Let's go through the roster and talk about the players that we're going to see on your team this year, and who are some big names that we have to know before we head up to Campbell for a girls basketball game.
We are very young. We have 3 seniors, 3 sophomores, and 6 freshmen. But there were two returning starters. Diamond Sims, she's a senior. She's a kid that leads by example. She's the hardest working person I know. Whenever we're doing a drill, whenever we're doing a scrimmage or whatever we're doing, she's giving 110% of herself into that. She's the biggest cheerleader. She's supporting the girls. She's definitely a good leader that I'm glad that she's on my team. Angelis Diaz, this is her 2nd year playing, a returning letter winner, but only 2nd year playing basketball. I mean, she's just an athlete. She's grown more confident and comfortable, especially like in these last 2 scrimmages that we've had. So watching her get better and better every day, it's been awesome. Angelis Espada, she's my last senior, so 3 seniors. It's only her 2nd year, I think, playing high school ball. She's very, very aggressive on defense. She isn't afraid to drive at anyone. I don't care if the girl's like 6 foot. She's taking it. The only being she's 5 foot, but she's aggressive. She's strong. Awesome to look. And then the younger ones, we have two sophomores that will get a lot of playing time this year. Amira Kamal and Mylisa Williams, and then the freshmen Rihanna Floyd Brown, Ariana Gonzalez, and Jaliska Diaz. These kids have, put in the work since day one. They've been there over the summer, putting in the work. They're buying into the program and what I'm trying to do here. So I'm glad, that they're being coachable like that.
When you were talking about those kids and their mentality, I saw you crack the smile every time you talked to how fearless one of them were. I mean, how much do you preach this aggressiveness and fearlessness that you want to see in this team, where they go up against anybody, no matter who it is? If like you said, if the girl's 6 foot, we're gonna drive right at her. What kind of mentality is that? Is that mirrored on your coaching?
Yeah, I mean, they have to have that dog mentality. We're not very tall. My tallest girl is probably 5'8". 5'9" on a good day, but we're going against teams like Crestview or Garfield. They have 6 foot girls, and it's like, I'm really, really trying to push defense this year. Crazy defense. I want to speed it up on defense. They're just fearless. I want them to not be afraid of anything. Like, if we can cause chaos on the defensive end, that can hopefully turn into easy points for us on the offensive end.
You brought up Crestview, but they're not the only great team in this conference. This conference is just ridiculously good.
Yes. Yeah.
Crestview, Garfield, Brookfield, Liberty. I mean, just go down the list. Let's
Right.
talk about that conference and what you expect out of it in your first year of coaching.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited that we're in this conference. I like the competitive conference. I'd rather, play teams that are at top of their game every single year, and that's what's expected of them. Like that's what I'm trying to get at my program here. So, Crestview and Garfield, yeah, I mean, I think they had 20 win. They had a 21 season last year. Brookfield, Liberty, I think they had 15, 16, 17 wins. But I mean, I like playing. I'm excited to play these guys because that's the expectation. That's the culture that I'm trying to bring at Camel. Like that's what I'm trying to build. So you got to play the best to be the best. So
That's it. And then you go outside the conference, and I know Camel has some rivalries that they like to play every year. Who are some teams outside of the MVAC that you're excited to go up against?
We're playing Lowville. That's our season opener, home opener. So I'm excited for that one. I think that's a great opportunity for our girls. They were pretty good last year. But yeah, I'm excited to play them. We play Sebring, Cheney, Heartland Christian. So I mean, good teams that I'm excited to see, where we can grow and how we can progress.
One of the big things that you have to do if you're building a program and trying to, turn the corner, as you say, got to get that winning mentality. And you have some kids that are on the volleyball team or the softball team, or maybe even both, that are starting to see wins and starting to see themselves succeed. How much do you think that winning mentality can trickle into your basketball program, just succeeding in the other sports as well?
I mean, I think that's a big factor. You see, the volleyball team, the softball team, but the boys basketball team, them having the success. Parents, teachers, staff, everyone's coming out to support those kids and buying into the process of what they're doing. So, we had our first home scrimmage yesterday, and we had a couple of fans in there. So it's good to see the support for the girls to see that, that they have fans too, that this is the culture we're trying to do here. We're trying to be the best. So it's good that, we've had the support from parents, staff, admin, so on and so forth.
You've had a couple of scrimmages. You have a handful of practices left before game one. What's on your checklist of things that you want to see accomplished before game one comes upon you?
Well, I already talked about the defense. I want us to fly all over the place on defense, be chaotic as possible, be loud, be strong. But for the offensive end, just to slow it down, be more fundamental in what we're trying to do and what we're trying to build. Just taking our time, taking what the defenses give us essentially, and hopefully that will lead to less turnovers. So.
What's going to be going through your mind game one? I mean, it'll be your first, varsity coaching experience. It becomes a reality. Game one, varsity head coach of a basketball team. What's that going to be like for you?
I'm going to be a nervous wreck, to be honest, but I'm excited to get out there. I'm excited to start. I feel like after the first game, after the first 2-3 games, I'll get into the hang of it and they'll be less stressful. But I'm excited to see what our girls can do. Like I said, we have 6 freshmen, 3 sophomores, so we're very, very young. So I'm excited to see how they're going to progress as the season goes and how far what they accomplish.
Every coach seems to have a different personality on the sidelines. Give us a little bit of preview what to expect if we come watch you coach at Camel.
I'm very energetic. I am I would say, hands-on coach. I'm very, very close to the sidelines, talking to my girls, instructing them. I'm sure if you come, you'll hear me wherever you're recording. So.
Love it. I love it, Coach. One of the things that we always do with our coaches, we give them the chance to highlight their staff. Obviously, you've had to build your own staff in year one. That's a very important part of becoming the head coach. I want you to shine a light on the people that you have behind you, helping you make this program what you want it to be.
Well, my assistant currently is J.D. Childers, John Childers. He was the varsity coach here the past 2 years. So it's been good to have him instruct me and help me, just first year head coach duties, jobs that I, don't necessarily know. But he's a very vocal guy. He helps the girls, breaks down stuff whenever they don't see something, whenever they're not getting something. So he's awesome to have on staff. I have Marlene Lewis. She's my JV coach. She worked with the 8th graders last year. So she worked with my current freshman. She was their coach in middle school. So it's good that she already has that development with that connection with the freshmen. So it's good to see her and get in there, and she already knows the kids and what they're like. So it's been good having her in my ear. At the middle school level, we have Maddie Sugar and Andrew Sugar. Maddie was a player here, so she knows what to expect. She knows what to bring. She knows that we're trying to change the culture and how we're going to do that. So the coaches are bought in. Everyone's bought in on our end. So the staff has been very, very great.
I love hearing the former player coming right back to coach. I mean, it didn't take long to Maddie to get back in the gym and put on that coaching hat. And who knows, maybe in 5-10 years, we talk about her being a coach somewhere, and we'll do a coach's corner with Maddie Sugar. Coach, when you were putting together that staff, you have Coach Childers. They both of your coaches were with this program, 8th grade, and then obviously the varsity coach from last year. What kind of blessing is that to have people that you don't have to teach them what you have. You don't have to tell them anything about the girls. They already know exactly what they have, what their skill sets are. What's that kind of a blessing like for you to have those kind of people behind you?
Yeah, I mean, at Camel, I don't know a lot of the kids or most of the kids at the high school because I teach at the STEM school. So it's been nice to have Childers, have Marlene say, this is this girl, this is her strength, this is her weakness, this is what we have to do. So they already have an outline of, who the kids are, what they're like, what their strengths are. So it's been good to have them in my ear to tell them, to tell me, to get more familiar with the girls right off the bat. So there wasn't that unfamiliarity, at the beginning.
Coach, before we let you go, one of the things that we're asking all of our coaches this year is about the love of the sport of basketball. Obviously, you coach because you love it. We come to all the games and broadcast because you love it, and your players play because they love it. So when you think about your love for the sport, when did it come from? When did it kind of spark in you? What are some of your early memories of the sport of basketball?
What probably made me love basketball was probably YMCA, the league when I was little. Every Saturday morning, waking up with my friend, we would go together, play, at the league. It was fun. I mean, that's probably made it, was playing with my friends, being with my friends probably made it for me. But just, I love everything about basketball, the contact. I like being right up in front of somebody's face and getting in their grill and lockdown defense. Everything about basketball, really. Just love it.
I can't wait to see that up in your face defense from Camel. I think the athletes that you have will really shine in that kind of defense mentality. Coach, we wish you the best of luck this year. We will be out there for sure covering you guys, and we can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
All right. Thank you so much.
Coach Ashlyn Cleveley from Camel Memorial, first-year head coach of the girls basketball program, and I think they're on that precipice of turning the corner too. We've already seen multiple programs in that school system turn the corner. And one of the variables in all those programs turnarounds are the coaches, that have been at the front and been energetic about wanting to do it. Coach Canarino coming back to Campbell, turning that program around and building energy into the boys basketball program. Coach Allen, of course, we know what he brings to the volleyball program and how much he cares about it and has poured into it. I think Coach Cleveley, that's the first time I've ever gotten the chance to talk with her, but I can just hear it that she has this passion for the school of Campbell. So fully confident that the basketball team on the girls' side is next, and that program's a turnaround for Campbell. Can't wait to see him out this year. We will continue our basketball previews. We hop right into another one. We're going to go and play one from South Range. Boys basketball, Pat Carden, another first-year head coach, taking over the boys program down there at South Range. Had a good chance to talk with him with Ty Bartell, and here's that interview for you here on Running Point.
Bartell with Anthony Hartwig and another edition of Coach's Corner. This time we go to the NE8 on the boys' side of things with the South Range Raiders' new head coach, Mr. Pat Carden. Pat, how we doing today?
Good. Excited to get on the show and get our season started here. We're a little behind the 8 ball with football still being in the playoffs, but it's been great getting in the gym with the kids last week.
It's no doubt a good thing, and there's good pros and cons, right, to the football team going far. You of course want them to go as far as possible, but you're getting some of the kids back, like you said, in the gym. How are practices looking with the kids that you have been able to get to participate?
Yeah, we got 11 kids right now. They're really working hard we're getting as much in as we can. You know, we do have a good group of kids that have some varsity experience. 3 returning starters from last year that are in the gym right now. So it's good to have them with us.
Coach, one of the things that I have to ask, last year, the hallmark of this team was winning close games, like the buzzer beaters for South Range last year, up the roof. And I think they had like 9 one-possession wins as a team. Or is your heart rate ready for that?
Yeah, you know, we're hoping to not have so many close games here. We're hoping to jump out some early leads, play with a little bit more pace than maybe they have in the past, and, you know, put some bigger numbers up on the scoreboard.
But in all reality, you know, when you bring so much momentum out of such a good season a year ago, a team that won a lot of games, how do you carry that momentum into this year?
Yeah, you know, I think they kind of got a taste of it last year. They won the NE8. They or split the NE8, I should say. They got to a district championship. You know, so I think now we're really looking to try and take that next step and carry that forward. As you know, get back and compete in the NE8 again, and hopefully compete for a district.
What's your journey been like to this head coaching role? How'd you find yourself in this position, and why South Range? Why was it such a good fit for you?
Yeah, so I started, now it would have been 9 years ago at Springfield Local when Coach Fender was still there. He brought me on as a freshman coach. After that, I spent 4 more years at Springfield with Steve French, who came on after Coach Fender. The last 2 years, I was at Girard High School with Coach Hannon. So I've had a lot of experience with some local schools, some schools in our league in the same division, Division III. So I think kind of just carrying all that forward, taking little bits and pieces from everyone, has really kind of got me ready for this. And like I said, with South Range, I came from Girard. We were just in the NE8. And when I was with Coach French at Springfield during our time, we won district title in D3. So we're familiar with the district. So I think it was just kind of getting the best of both worlds. And, South Range has a really rich culture of sports here right now. And we're trying to match that success that football's had, baseball's had, basketball had some good success last year. So we're just trying to really propel that forward.
When you think of the culture of this team and the thing that you want to instill, what kind of culture do you want to see at South Range?
Yeah, we want to have just a really positive culture, hardworking kids who want to come in and be here every day. And that's something that we're really working towards. It's no secret that they had quite the roller coaster ride last year. They had some issues, some highs, some lows. So it's a new leaf for them, a whole new coaching staff. No one returns from last year. So there is, we're getting used to knowing the kids, and I think they're kind of seeing that we're coming in with a fresh start, and I think it's good for them. It's good for us. And, we're really working towards building a program here and, from the ground up, whether it's 4th grade, 5th grade, 7th, 8th, we want to be a cohesive program all as one.
You mentioned all the programs at South Range that have experienced success to it. I mean, you're getting a lot of those athletes, similar type athletes from those programs that have gone to state championships, won state championships onto your team. It always just seemed like this team was just like you said, they dealt with the issues last year. They were missing that skipper to kind of just take the reins. Looks like you're able to step into this role and do that now. When you talk about this team and the success that they've had in other sports, do you feel like success breeds success and that you can get this team to that district championship that they're looking to hang into the banners?
Yeah, obviously we lose kids to football right now and they're still going. It's time that we would wish that we could have with them in the gym. But, I think when you get a taste of that winning, it's, you taste it and then you want more. These football guys want to keep going. They're going to come in and compete. I have no doubt about that when they're done. And especially last year, like they saw, you're allowed to be good in everything. That was kind of one thing we're preaching. Football's been really good. Baseball's been really good. You're allowed to be good in basketball too. And, we're really working towards that. And I think they're hungry for that. We have a group of kids that's going to be a very junior, senior heavy. So, they know the end of the line's kind of coming and, they want to make their mark on South Range history.
Coach, let's talk about your schedule. Obviously, you're very familiar with the NE8 being with Gerard last year. What do you see out of the conference? What kind of things can you tell us about what the NE8 might look like this year?
Yeah, the conference is always very competitive. There's no easy wins on the schedule. On any given night, if you play a bad basketball game, you very easily lose a game. You got to play your best ball. I expect Poland returns a lot of kids. I expect them to be good. Struthers is always competitive. Hubbard brings in a new coach, so we'll see what what they can bring. Same thing with Niles, new coach. There's a lot of new faces, in the league as well. And Jefferson was a really competitive team last year. That's not going to be with it. So, it's going to be interesting to see how some things shake out with only 7 teams in it this year.
No doubt. And I mean, the conference schedule is always the comfort part of the schedule, the ones you're guaranteed and you're going to get competition from there. But that non-conference slate is always fun because you could kind of get different looks of different teams, what other teams are doing, and kind of get a whole slate of different types of basketball. What are some of these non-conference matchups you're really excited to get your team faced?
Yeah, our non-conference is really tough. We're not shying away from any competition. We throw our kids to the wolves right away. We start with Louisville to open, and then we go right with West Branch and Cheney. Right before we get into league play, we have Fitch on our schedule, Howland, Ursuline, Mohawk, and PA, who had 20 wins last year. So, those teams are really going to get us ready and, for the tournament, to get us playing our best basketball, end of February, early in March. So I think, that's going to build. We're going to be in those tight games. We're going to see some different competition. So, I don't think there's not any game on our schedule where I look at that says, that's just a cupcake win. It's on there. We got to come out. We got to play, 22 nights this year.
When you have a schedule like that as a coach, I mean, how excited does that make you for every challenge that you're going to face, whether it be trying to quickly rebound from one game and get to the next one, knowing that there's no time off? What's that like for a coach to be stressed and challenged the way that you're going to be?
Yeah, I think it really keeps the kids locked in. Sometimes you do see some of those cupcakes on your schedule, and you sleepwalk through practice. You sleepwalk through a game. We're not going to have any of that. We're going to have to be, focused here every day, really prepare for games, and not take any game lightly. Like I said, 22 nights on our schedule right now, or you got to give everything you have if you want to win.
You talk about the culture you want to try to instill with this team. What are some characteristics of Pat Carden basketball teams we can expect from this Raiders squad?
Yeah, I want us to be really enthusiastic. Cheer on your teammates. I think that's a big one for us. Really getting the kids, on the same level and on the same train of thought there. Like I said, they had their issues last year that, we got to really overcome and build a great team culture here. I'm going to be energetic, a little bit more upbeat on the sideline. And our kids are going to be prepared for every situation that gets thrown their way. I don't want to, we're not going to hopefully not look foolish seeing something that we weren't expecting to see. I hope we have everything prepared.
All right, Coach, like you said, it's a new staff this year. You've put together a good one. I want to give you the chance to shine a light on the people that you've brought in to help you with this South Range program and the coaches that have your back.
Yeah, so the big one for me is Steve French. He comes on. He was a head coach at Springfield. Previously, he was a head coach at Jefferson for a few years, and he's had a lot of success, district championships. He was really an instrumental part of growing me in my coaching career and getting me to this point. So he's great. I'm very biased towards him. I think he's one of the best basketball minds around, if not the best basketball mind. So he's great, and I think he's really enjoying the assistant role, kind of taking a back seat a little bit. We have Mark Easy, he's a teacher in the school, and he was a former head coach. He's coached for a number of years. He's going to help out the JV program. Again, very, very energetic. He wants to see this program succeed. He wants the very best for the kids. So he's good. He has a lot of experience, and that helps me out as well. Being a fresh guy, having some guys that have seen some different scenarios and been in some different situations, having their experience kind of lean on. And then we also have Adam Wary with us. Adam was a player with Coach French and I at Springfield for 3 years. He had a great career there. He's going to help out with our freshman program and JV. And, kids can kind of go to him. He's younger. Kids can go to him and really find out, what we expect from them. He's somebody that they can lean on.
Coach, final question for you, and it's been a running theme for this year for coaches, and it goes back to the love of the game of basketball. It's what brings us all here each and every season. My question to you: where did this love for basketball start? Do you have a pinpoint moment or a first memory in loving the sport?
I don't. I've played it for a long time. I grew up, AAU wasn't really a thing as much when I was growing up. It was more like we used to play at the YMCA on Saturday mornings in that league. And then, something just kind of clicked in high school where this really became my main focus. And, I started right after high school into coaching, and I never looked back, and I don't see, my future without basketball. It's just something that I see that I'm always going to be involved with, moving forward.
Coach, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us today, giving us a solid preview of this very exciting South Range basketball team. We wish you the best of luck, and we'll see you out there for sure.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Coach.
And that was Pat Carden, the head coach of the South Range boys basketball team in his first year of having the reins of the boys program. That's going to be a really exciting team that split the conference last year, had a lot of dramatic victories. Can the South Range Raiders do the same this year? Put on the show for the fans during the basketball season and let that Thriller Dome live up to his name. We will definitely find out. I think those boys first want to get through a football season, right? They have more to take care of. South Rangers football team playing Perry on Friday in the regional finals. That game will be audio only on YSN, as will the Struthers game, as will the Ursuline game, and as will the Hoban game. So those 4 games on YSN will all be audio only and will all be free because they're audio only on ysnlive.com. That one announced a little bit earlier on today on our social media accounts. We will talk more about football on Friday, and we will be back tomorrow from 1 to 2 for another episode of Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet.